You get the opportunity to write a little personal note on that invitation, and I would recommend that you do that. Tell them something about why you're contacting them. I saw you at a conference, I follow your blog all the time, and make it a little personal like that.
If you took that idea, but added in the values of something like Barcamp or the open source movement, or basically the community structure that a lot of us have, this shared like-minded sense of values, and you bring that to the shared workplace environment, and you create a very creative space that everybody can work out of, and that's probably the best way to define co-working.
What I was hoping this would be is a little bit more of a discussion about, does this kind of thing have a place on a newspaper site? What is the best way to do it? And what can, I guess, both parties benefit from it? How can the blogger who has something to say about his neighborhood use the newspaper to get that out there? And how can the newspaper use those bloggers to bring about a greater amount of depth of understanding about the neighborhoods?
A couple of 1-minute examples of some of my favorite blogs and or video blogs, and we'll kind of go from there and see what your level of interest is, what your level of know-how is, and then what the heck you're here to find out. My wife and I, Cameron, over there, did a 3-month trip around the country, and we video blogged the whole experience at findingamerica.tv. And it was a blog, but also every day we'd post 1 or 2, video postcards, if you want to call it that, or actual real episodes where we'd interview people, around America. We did a mashup with Google Maps so that along the way we, had our path, and if you click on these little icons, it pulls up videos from those specific locations. So kind of just a way to integrate, where we were on the path, and people could see what we were doing, and just a great way to kind of get rocking and rolling. So as far as some of my favorite blogs, introduce you guys to the wide spectrum of what blogging entails. B-logging, video logs.
If you do it this way, if you do Black Hat stuff, yes, you can probably get high on Google for a very short amount of time until Google figures it out. Then you have to go scheme the system again. If you do it right the first time and continuously do white hat practices, get authority sites, not just any old paid link, then it'll stand the test of time. It'll consistently stay up there. You won't have to worry about going back and starting from scratch again. So it's a decision you got to make, and probably the right decision is going the white hat way.
Pay your dues.
Yeah. Pay your
I
dues.
have a question for you guys. What do you guys think about this? You guys heard of text link ads?
Michael Nunez with Saluda.com. That's SULUTA.com. My email is mike@saluda.com. The plugin, what it does is it converts every link on your site to an affiliate link if it's possible. So just email me if you're interested.
Thank you.
I was really going to make, and I'm like, this is what I have to do. And pretty much everyone all day that I saw. So actually, what I'm actually going to talk about, and the reason I have a couple slides, I actually have a couple of images I want to share with you. That'll tell the story a little bit better than I could by just speaking to that. And what I really think is going on is going to be represented by 3 stories here. And they're not kind of the usual story. I want to start by introducing you to my best friend, Scott Becker. And this is a photo by Chris Krug. This was taken at my wedding recently, which we had down in Mexico. Hi, Christy. But this photo was also taken by Chris Krug. And Chris Krug, for those of you who don't know, this is the photo I took of Chris Krug. Is the president of Bright. He's a friend. He's a source of referrals. He's one of my vendors. I use his company, Bright. And he was also a wedding photographer. Wow, kind of weird. So what's really happening? Oh, well, what this really means is that business is personal again. Or maybe perhaps even saying for the